Hi, I'm Bianca, your work bestie. My videos exist because I've been an employee advocate for 5 years, and along that journey of helping people from all sorts of backgrounds understand their workplace rights and how to navigate workplace politics and other issues, I'm going to help you with yours. In today's video, I have the pleasure of helping you like I wish someone was there to help me when I first started my corporate job. And if you've been in corporate for a while and you're going to start in a new one, or it's your first time, these tips are going to help you regardless, because there are certain politics and dynamics in most corporate jobs that pretty much stay the same wherever you go. So, you want to know what they are? Let's get into it. Number one, when you first have your in-house meeting, because a lot of meetings nowadays do happen online, but if you're in the office and there is a meeting, it's your first one. Don't be late, but be a little bit later to arrive than everyone else. Because I'm telling you now, and I might seem really silly and childish, everyone is going to have that already works there and has worked there for quite some time, if not a long time, their self-designated seating. Everyone, you're going to learn very quickly, has their own particular seat that they guaranteed will always choose and sit in for every meeting. And whether you have meetings in meeting room 1, 2, 3, or 4, everyone is going to have a designated seat. And if you're the new guy, the last thing you want to do is sit in someone's seat, because either you're going to pee off the wrong person or you're potentially going to sit in the boss's seat, which is something you don't want to do, obviously. So I always say, when you first arrive into your first in-person meeting, wait a little bit. Don't get there first. I know you want to look, make a good impression by showing the boss that you can be on time. But obviously don't be late, but let others go into the meeting room before you. See where they sit, all right? Because the thing is that you're going to learn in the next meeting and every other meeting after that, they're going to sit in the same place. And you need to figure out where you're going to sit, the empty spot that no one sits in, all right? So wait for everyone to sit down, or for most people to sit down. And I always say, ask if the seat is taken before sitting down. The person sitting next to it most likely will tell you that it's safe for someone else or that it's free. And if it's free, guess what? You found your designated seat that you're always going to sit in every meeting. So make sure you're sitting next to someone that you like. And I would recommend that you don't sit next to your friend, because like me, I can safely say that when you sit next to a friend, they crack jokes and things under their breath, and then you end up having to cover your face or mouth from showing your smile or laughter. And you don't want to deal with that, especially when you're new. So, self-designated seating in meetings, number one, you got it. Don't sit in someone else's seat. I know it seems really silly and childish, but it's the truth. That is what is going to happen. That is what happens in office workplaces. All right. Number two is cliques. Don't become friendly with every single person in your office, right? The thing is that you need to be you need to be Switzerland, right? The thing is that you need to see who are the cliques. You need to see who the people hang out with, right? Who are the people that sit over here, do things over there, and who they are friendly and interact with, right? The reason why I say this is especially when you're coming into a workplace with already established cliques and friendship groups. It's not to say that you need to be the loner and be singled out and not be part of any friendship group, but you need to suss out who's friendly with each other. And the reason why I say this is because the The last thing you want to do is potentially involve yourself in a rumor or some gossip or just an offhand comment that you're making. And you end up telling the person you're speaking about their friend at work, because it's just going to come back and bite you on the bum. So it's just really important to figure out who's friends with who, be observant, keep an eye on these things. Obviously, I'm not saying that, take away from your work, but of course, when you're working in corporate, you can absolutely watch out for these things. And that way, you're going to be able to understand where you may fit in the future. And you're also going to figure out if someone that you get along with really well could be in a clique or in a friendship group with someone you actually don't get along very well. And it's going to help you navigate what that looks like in your workplace day to day. Okay. Number 3 is the lunchroom. Yes, the lunchroom. Again, self-designated seating areas. If you have a substantial or pretty good lunchroom with, lots of places to sit and eat, there may be particular tables that are specifically taken by themselves, a table that they choose to sit on every break. All right. And so I highly recommend it. It could be the boss's table as well that they typically sit in. It could even be something as simple as a newspaper that George always likes to read every lunch break that he has. Or it could be something like there's a particular part of the lunchroom that someone uses to meditate or pray or something like that. I also think it's important to understand the dynamic of the fridge and where things go in the tea room or in the lunchroom. Now, this would never really be brought up in like a retail job or a hospitality job, right? But in a corporate job, it's a lot different. And so being observant, keeping an eye on things about how people navigate their lunch breaks, who they sit with, where are they always sitting, and things like that. And obviously, it's a massive no-no to take someone's food, okay? Label your stuff. Make sure that you put it in a spot that's not in someone else's spot, because sometimes people have spots in the fridge and things like that. But obviously, if someone has their own milk or their own particular food, don't take it. Like, I don't care how desperate you are for some milk in your coffee. If it's someone's designated milk that isn't supplied by the business, don't use it. Okay? Because if you get caught and you get caught by the person that will take offense to it, you're just going to get yourself into hot water. And trust me, you don't want to deal with that kind of crap, especially when you're just starting out. Okay? Number 4, and I think they're all very important to know, but this one in particular is probably one of the most important aspects of navigating your first corporate job, and that is no one is your friend. I don't care how friendly someone can be, how personable they are, how, I guess, in a way, excited they are to have you in their workplace. Now, I'm not saying that you can't make friends at work, okay? But in a corporate job, it's a completely different environment. And you should not walk in there like you maybe did your retail job or your hospitality job or even like your cleaning job or something like that, right? Because the people that you're working around, and I'm talking about even at the lowest of the hierarchy, and I'm not suggesting anyone is like, in the dumps and, they shouldn't be accounted for. But the thing is that someone even like the receptionist, who is at the lowest of the hierarchy, could be a threat to you or see you as a threat for some reason, okay? So when you first start your job, I would say for the next 3 to 6 months, just be really observant. Be friendly to people. How are you going? How's that project you're working on moving? Are you having success? What was that, how was that client meeting? I mean, obviously don't ask questions that you shouldn't be privy to, but no one is your friend. in a corporate job, you should be very mindful and very conscious of the fact that there is going to be people out there that are not there with good intentions. They do their job, they go in, they do their thing, and they go home. But there are people out there that specifically have a problem with others succeeding, maybe thinking that someone is a threat. You could be that threat. And then that can lead to other problems down the road that you simply do not want. All right. So suss people out, right? I always think the overly friendly person, depending on what position they are, you should be mindful of that. Don't reveal personal things about yourself, personal information. Don't, even if, you might say you're married because you obviously have a wedding ring on or something like that. But I wouldn't even mention if you have children or that you're married and where you live. And I'm saying that over time you can divulge some of that information. But the reason why I say that is because people in corporate, your co-workers, I'm not suggesting every person, but so many people are out to get you and to get others and backstab and schmooze the right supervisor or boss. You tell a joke to the wrong person and then it gets given back as information to the boss or the supervisor that they're trying to get friendly with, and they completely twist your words, right? Or they just pretend that they're offended. So the thing is that it's so important. Most importantly, guys, politics exist in corporate jobs to a level that you may not understand until you're more in the thick of it, right? And when I say the thick of it, I mean more settled in your role, you understand your job, you know everyone there now, you've been there, 6 months to a year, you understand how the dynamics work, all of that type of thing. Politics exist. So don't walk into any corporate job thinking it's going to be different. It's not. It's going to be there. And it's all about the different levels of political agenda for people, right? The things that I've experienced within my corporate job, I mean, one day I'll tell the story, but it is insane. The things that people will do to justify their position, to get a promotion, to get on the right side of of a particular boss, whatever. People do some really horrible, nasty things. So just figure out the people that you work with. I mean, I hope that you find a friend